taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut, season off top, you stop breathing.
You know,
yeah.
The real, the real boxing though, however, from Showtime, PBC, you know, actually put on a good fucking show. Although the opener on that one was a little disappointing. The main event, of course, was Subriel Matias versus Jeremias Ponce.
Yeah,
you know,
Jeremias.
Hold on, what was wrong with the opener?
The opener was
it started
Adorno and Rodriguez.
Yeah.
See, I had hopes it was gonna be like a Bowser Hitchens, just a little bit less. You know, I had that kind of expectation, so it was kind of boring.
I mean, I thought it was a good fight. Like, what y'all niggas wanted?
It took a little. The first couple rounds were kind of boring though. For most,
they were boring because they were kind of like you know they were kind of filling each other out.
Adorno kind of got hold. I think he was up pretty like in the first 6 rounds. He was up like 5. He won 4 or 5 of those rounds. I don't know. He was,
who, Adorno?
Adorno won those early rounds to me.
Adorno wasn't winning shit like that. What the fuck?
What? Really? You don't think?
Yeah, Adorno was back for the boxing to oblivion.
Elvis wasn't doing it.
It wasn't even good. That
I said the same
either.
thing. This nigga said the same thing to me. I said the same thing. The nigga was winning.
Yeah, and LB, and it wasn't even good that foot boxing.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even good back for like dude. It wasn't even effective. Like, he stayed on the ropes, and for every 4 punches, he would land a good counter left hook or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wasn't really like, he did maybe a little bit more than Karen did against Boots.
Nah, he did a little more action than that, bro. To me,
really?
I expected more out of Elvis. I don't know. Did y'all think Elvis?
Rodriguez was like teeing off on him at one point.
Yeah, in spurts, but Elvis. I thought Elvis was going to look a little better. To me, Elvis did not look that. I expected more out of Elvis. He didn't look that good to me.
I mean, he looked like a bigger guy, landing the bigger shots and kind of just walking the smaller guy down.
I feel like he got dropped though, and they didn't call that drop, the knockdown.
Yeah, there was a knockdown that should have been called on him, but Rodriguez did return. You know, did legitimately put Adorno down there. That right hook had that motherfucker doing a silly dance.
Yeah. Puerto Rico.
Then he just ultra comboed him into the corner.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought that was it for Adorno, but I mean, Adorno has a pretty decent chin. I will say that.
Yeah, because that one rocked him, and you know he kind of stayed up, but he obviously was a knockdown. But he was taking shots after that shit.
Yeah, but I
mean, he had to at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but also too, I mean, Rodriguez is big for a fucking 140 pounder. Though I was like, Jesus Christ, like he was noticeably bigger than Adorno though, but. You know, I was just like,
that's the biggest I've seen him. Like, he looked like he could be at 147.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. He looked like 154, honestly. Like, he looked like a super welter.
Nigga looked bigger than Keith Thurman.
Yeah, he did. He did. You know what I'm saying?
Welterweights, man. Yeah, he's a.
I mean, I did think the fight was largely mid though, but it did warm up by the last like 3 rounds or so. Like, okay, it turned into something.
It was a good opener. Yeah, I mean, I expected a little bit more of a firefight early, but it was what it was. It was an opener.
I thought it would be more of a firefight. You know, but you know, it is.
Weren't both these niggas like inactive a little bit though? So
they're both like 140. You know, type. You know, just kind of fight every once in a while. I know. Michelle, I think was it Michelle Rivera who beat Adorno?
Yeah.
Yeah, he watched it.
But yeah, they were a little bit inactive though, like especially Rodriguez.
Yeah, Elvis. Yeah.
Damn, y'all niggas expected a fight of the year from these guys, man. Y'all gotta stop letting boxing Twitter damn hype y'all up for these matchups.
Oh no, nigga, not me. Boxing Twitter has nothing. Like
I just thought it was gonna be a dope 140. You know.
No, because I saw this fight mentioned quite a few times, and I'm just okay, it's a decent scrap, but you know, y'all niggas is making it seem like this is goddamn Kessler Froch 3 or some shit. Like,
well, let's put it this way. I mean, I honestly didn't think. I thought it would at least be better than Jamal James and Alberto.
Yeah, it wasn't though.
It was. And that fight was hell of a lot better than
that fight was better.
Yeah, but Jamal James though is one thing I can't stand for tall niggas do is like they give up their advantages. Like that motherfucker was giving up his advantages so much, and you know in he gassed too, but then they kept on saying this nigga like caught COVID 3 times. Like, how's that even possible? Like,
he got a good.
Dude, it's possible. Like, niggas down here be catching COVID like so many times down here.
He got a good second win because, like, early on, I felt like Palmetto was doing his best Mean Machine impression, just kind of getting in the chest and just rocking Jamal James for most of that.
He was getting outworked though.
Who, Palmetto or James?
Palmetto.
Yeah.
James, he don't have the reflexes like that, like up close. So I mean, at the distance, like a lot of tall niggas. So they'll do what they can from a distance, but they'll gradually get closer to you so they can stay connected and.
Listen,
they can fucking wear you down with the volume.
He had that fight. He just didn't have the right game plan because this nigga Jamal was ducking down this whole time, like leaning forward. I'm like, yo, if this nigga just throws one uppercut, this nigga is gonna get the upset. Like, what the fuck?
Palmetto was trying to. He was throwing up.
No, he would throw it late. Like this nigga be ducking down for like 2 seconds. He'll look at him, then throw the uppercut after the nigga lift back up. I'm like, yo, nigga, every time he duck. Throw an uppercut, throw a hook. That nigga's gonna get the fuck out of there because the
uppercut needed to be instinct.
His duck, he was ducking with his hands down. I'm like, yo, this nigga's wide open. Like,
and he was leaning toward them shits. Like, honestly, if Palmetto would have stepped back and threw an uppercut,
all he had to do was really just a couple smashes when he started leaning like that, and that shit would have been over. Like, I honestly thought Palmetto was gonna get him out of there because Jamal ain't looked that good. I'm like, yo,
Jamal didn't look good early on. Jamal looked kind of bad. Like, I was like, this nigga might need to retire type bad.
What? What the fuck fight were y'all watching?
No, early on, Palmetto was putting work, was getting on his chest.
He was eating. He was
work.
Jamal James was fucking damn comboing this dude to death, like throwing body shots, jabs, right hands.
Not in the first 4 rounds, man. James was getting early on in that fight.
Palmetto really didn't do much.
Dude, thank you, King P. What the fuck are these niggas on?
Early, like in the first 4 or 5 rounds, I feel like Palmetto was looking real good.
No, he wasn't. He followed him around and did nothing. Like, what are we talking about?
Y'all niggas is on something.
I'm serious, bro. Jamal James was looking trash the first 5, 6. Like, early on, he was not looking good. I don't know what y'all.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know what y'all saw, but all right.
You know what? This is Pilot's first time back in a while, though, too.
I'm not saying that James looked good, but like Palmetto didn't do anything. Like, what are we talking about? Like, he followed him around, barely landed anything. I mean, James didn't do much either, but he did more than fucking Palmetto. Like,
yeah.
Listen,
like he was dictating the whole first half.
Listen, Palmetto was touching him. Right, he was touching him. He was in front of him. It was just like he didn't open up. All he had to do was open up, and the fight would have been over. He was doing
Rome and Pilot are saying 2 different things. No, I get what Rome's saying because basically Palmetto was landing the straight left, and he doubled up on it a few times. So,
but he didn't.
You knew he was in. You knew James was in there for a fight, but Palmetto still wasn't doing it enough.
He wasn't doing it enough. That's why the nigga was able to counter. But I'm like, yo, if you just, step on the gas a little bit, you can get this little nigga this big nigga out of here.
And and what happened was, James started looking bad near the end, like I said, because he was gassing, and like dude was on the corner, like he was laboring, like I thought the corner was gonna have to pull his nigga out because this nigga was laboring so much. He was like, for a second, because he's like, I don't think I have it, and like COVID fucked me up. Like this is actual conversation they were saying in the corner. The zone take notes.
Coach wasn't having that shit.
Yeah. The zone take notes. Some of us actually like to listen to that banner in the corner because it shed a lot of light and it actually created some drama for that fight. Some like, oh shit, right. James might be ready to be stopped.
That's we'd have to hear AutoZone 10 times.
Yo, facts. So, but James though he did suck it up. Pause. And then he tried. And he was throwing the right hands because he was buckling Palmetto with some right hands late in the fight. Like he was trying, and Palmetto just didn't have it at the end. And I don't know if it's just a bad strategy or whatever, but he tried to. But then all that back, all the back foot bucks he made James do and this shit like that. It was just like. Yeah,
James got that second win after like what Pat was talking about with the whole corner drama shit. It felt like somehow after a round or two after that happened, Jamal James just got a second win and probably won that shit like 8-4, you know. But I feel like early on, Jamal James would look in trouble for a split second. That's all I'm saying.
It was probably because he didn't look, because it was just mostly like rust at that time. It was just rust. But then after that, but yeah, Jamal James. I mean, I hope whatever it is, I hope he continue to get like some sort of either like physical therapy or whatever the fuck. Yeah, because he can't. I mean, because he never had bad stamina before. But if dude is gassing out like this in 10 rounders, it's like, yeah, he might be in trouble when he gets put in the ring with another like a B level or A level like welterweight. You know, but it was still.
I mean, we saw what he looked like against Butayev, and yeah, so
yeah.
I mean, he still made Butayev work for it. It wasn't like a walk in the park either.
No.
It just, he's one of those guys where the A+ and the A- will have a little extra for him.
Yeah, I mean,
like Jamal James, the B+ guys are gonna be life or death with him.
But I mean, he made Butayev work for it, but he also gave Butayev every chance to work for it. I was like, yeah, no, he put him in so many. That fight was horrible for James. Like, he gave Butayev so many opportunities that he didn't need to be given. But
yeah, Butayev put his foot in his ass. That's what happened.
But see, but Butayev took those opportunities. We remember how earlier we were saying how Palmetto had the same opportunities, but he didn't take them. You have a nigga bobbing and weaving into a fucking uppercut, and you're not throwing the uppercut. Like, what the fuck?
Oh shit! And Chris Brand just wrote Michael Fox versus Jamal James.
I actually
Jamal
like
James,
the two tall dudes, because both of them are like 6'2", so
Jamal James wins that.
Those two hype bully motherfuckers.
Hype bullies.
Yeah, I mean, Fox is cool, but I don't think he's that. I mean, he guys ass handed to him by Mean Machine anyway recently.
I mean, that fight sounds kind of like, it sounds like it'd be boring because both those guys are kind of,
Fox ain't got the offense for James.
Yeah.
James, at least, damn, you got to worry about punches with him, and he'll open up and give you 3 or 4 hard shots, 2 to the body. Like, James is still a problem. It's just he has to tighten up his ring generalship and his defense.
Right.
But yeah, you still gotta be on him, like, and for as good as Butayev was, you see what Stanionis did to his ass.
Yeah, that was a pure caveman fight. But I might need to rewatch that fight again, because that was a pure, like, them niggas was caveman.
That's gonna be a forgotten fave for the new ring gang niggas in the future. Like,
it's
5 years from now.
You know what's hilarious is that Butayev and Mean Machine are fighting next, so it's the battle of the leftovers, because Butayev lost to Stanionis and Mean Machine lost to Virgil, and Virgil and Stanionis are fighting each other in April. So
hey man, so sometimes that round robin shit works.
It's the boxing 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, like I said, Butayev, that's still, that is a good fight. Like, I dig that fight. It's a good, solid B-level fight. I'm all for that fight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jamal James and Palmetto, it was definitely a good fucking show, and definitely a good warm up to the fucking main event with Ponce and Matthias. Man, they're like, honestly, I truly thought Ponce was actually gonna out Matthias. Like,
nigga, I thought he was too. I don't know what the fuck
that happened. First round, he blew his load. Pause. That first round, yeah. He lit him up in the first round, but you knew who can keep up that pace.
I mean, they were doing it. I mean, it wasn't like there was a drop off in their work rate. It was just like they were just throwing some serious hands at each other. Like,
Ponce almost threw 100, punches that first round.
I mean, they threw 800 combined punches in 5 rounds. Imagine if that shit actually went to 12.
Power was a difference, because it seemed like once Matthias hurt him a little.
Yeah, once Matthias started landing, it was like he was crippling him. But yo,
those left
come
hooks,
on,
man.
I mean, like, the trainer was on some bullshit.
I mean, I knew after the first round, because actually Ponce has some pop. He's not as powerful as Matias, but he has some pop. So he threw a lot of punches in the first round. But when I saw how well Matias took them, I'm like, all right, cool.
He was absorbing every punch that round.
And honestly, his defense got better as the rounds went on. Like he was like a lot of the stuff that Ponce,
he wasn't as surprised.
A lot of the stuff that Ponce was like landing, because he was still throwing a lot, but like it was mostly landing on the gloves, on the shoulders. Like Matthias didn't get hit really flush after like the second round. He did a good job of with the defense. So as much as people say, oh well, he's so hittable, he's hittable. He actually wasn't after the first round. He actually did pretty well with the defense. So was responsible for the most part.
Yeah, he was though. But I was just like, just the rate that dude were throwing here, I was like, good lord, like I said, this was gonna be. I mean, it was already trending towards fight of the year shit after like the fourth round. I was like, goddamn, like someone's gonna have to break. I honestly didn't think Ponce would be the one to actually break first, and at least break that early.
I thought so. I thought so. It was looking like it. Because at the end of the second round, Matthias cracked Ponce with a left hook, and it kind of like you could tell it kind of buzzed Ponce. Like he wasn't like hurt badly, but you could tell he felt
it was noticeable.
It was noticeable. So I'm like, all right, there we go. There's the first one. Now let's see.
Those left hooks. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying like they were Tito left hooks, but those left hooks were just studding after. Like, goddamn, this is vicious.
And he was landing all of them.
All day.
All of them.
Yeah, he wasn't missing after a while. That was, that motherfucker's a monster. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but the funny thing is too, with a fight like that, the ending was kind of anticlimactic, so it could have been.
A lot of people hated the ending. A lot of people hated
the trainer was on some bullshit with that.
Yeah,
that was his father. Oh, here we go.
Get the fuck out of here. Look, this nigga walked over and sat down and was able to talk to them, nigga. Go back out there, nigga.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, you know how like what happened? Rest in peace to Max Dashidiv. I feel like a lot of these, especially now, because it's like been 5 or 6 straight, corner stoppages. I just think like they care too much. They don't want their, they saw what happened.
They thought like they basically thought Ponce was getting eaten.
But hold on, this is not sparring, nigga. This nigga is fighting for a reason. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hurt. That's what the sport is about, nigga. You can't just quit if a nigga gets tagged too much in a round. What the fuck type of shit is that?
No, because Matthias' reputation. Because Matthias has already contributed to someone dying in the ring. And everyone.
Oh, he did. He killed a nigga. Oh, he was.
He was
not scared. Okay. I get it. Okay.
So he. I mean,
somebody that nigga was scared. He was like, "Yo, he ain't gonna kill my son, nigga."
Yeah.
And that was the thing, because that's why they were like, "Oh yeah, we." That's why the court was like immediately took, because before Ponce took too much punishment. Ponce took enough punishment where like he could probably recover from it, but let's say if he took like 4 more rounds of that shit, that might knock some years off his career.
Oh my god! I ain't know that nigga Matthias was on some shit like that. Nigga.
Matthias is a brutal puncher. Like he's just like, everyone, you trade with him too many times. Like all these niggas ended up just like fucked up. It's like,
niggas gonna be dodging that fight for years to come. Trust me.
Yeah, that's what I always said too, because I was like, because when Josh Taylor, let go of all those belts, I was like, if Josh Taylor, goes after some of these guys that are now at 140 and starts beating them, then we're starting to talk like, yeah, Taylor might actually be on some Hall of Fame shit, like generation shit if he actually does that. But Matthias is a problem. He's a serious problem for anybody at 140. Like he's dangerous. He's incredibly dangerous. And now that he has a title, so now niggas gonna have to fight him.
You're gonna have to fight him. Well, I mean, Regis is, it's hard for Regis to get fights. So I don't know.
Yeah, Regis is calling him out. Regis Prograis, and I would welcome that fight for anything.
I've been wanting.
I think we're gonna get the. I think we're gonna get him versus the winner of Puyo Rolly.
I don't want to see Rolly in the ring with Matthias. That's not even. No.
I don't want to see Puyo in the ring with him. I want to see either a Russell or I want to see Prograis in there. Or someone like that.
I think for me, I mean, they're all good fights. Personally, Matias versus Russell is a 50-50 fight. That's a really, really good fight. I guess it depends on which Russell shows up that night. So, Prograis beats Matias to me. And I'm a Matias guy, but I just think Prograis beats him. But it's gonna be a good fight either way. I'm cool because I don't even care about the result as long as we're getting good fights. So.
Exactly. You know, but Matias, but at least I was like, Matias, you know, and I know like a lot of the Puerto Ricans are happy now because they finally got a world champion again. At least a world champion. At least that's actually in a division that most people watch. I
was gonna say because he's not the only champion that we have, but
but he's since he's a division that most people watch anyways. Unlike the other champions, so it's like, hey, you know, he's there. You know, but I mean, I continue to look forward to Matias fights because that motherfucker is just he's a brutal fucking puncher. So get him in the ring with some other names. So I'll definitely look for it. But that fight. I mean, you can call. I mean, some people call it a fight of the year. I think I can call it a fight of the year. It's just like the ending is just like had he let at least Ponce, or I mean, had the doctors at least stopped it. It probably would have looked a lot better than the corner, like, you know, being there like, oh, no, we got this, that's enough. And that's for a fucking title, too. So that's also kind of weird, too. It's like, you know, give him at least one more round after he gets dropped to see what he can actually do. And then try to pull him out. But it's like, once they got him to the corner, it was like, that was it. And like, so, I mean, I see why they did it, but...
Right, because it was like, what, two rounds to 3? Like, nigga, how the fuck you gonna quit some shit like that? I had it 2-3 at that time.
Yeah, I think I forgot what the official scores were for that one, but I think they were close.
Yeah, Ponce had 2 rounds to me. He had the first 2 to me.
Yeah, easily, yeah.
Yeah, it was about 2-2. It was about 2-2, but the tides were definitely turning. And again, with Matthias having that stigma or whatever you want to call it as a killer, you know.
Yeah, you can't sleep on them or anything like that. So they were like, you know what? Let's save you for another day. There'll be another title shot. And
so you telling me this nigga has to win all 12 rounds for them niggas to be like, okay, he's in there, he's good. Like, what the fuck, nigga? No, he gotta lose some rounds. Come on, come on.
But then I think Ponce was gunning for a knockout. That's the thing, though. Ponce wasn't boxing to go to a decision. He was trying to knock dude out. But when Matthias weathered the storm, it was a wrap. You know, but that's still a hell of a fight though, because I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, you know, the actor was just like furious. But had that fight went on like another 4 or 5 rounds, like it probably would have been like a real true classic with that type of hands that were being thrown though. But hey, you know, we still got a firefight nonetheless in 5 rounds.
What fight you think was better? Yarde better beef for that though.
Yarde better beef.
It's a little long, yeah.
Not by much, but I prefer Yarde better beef because that one it did go some rounds, and it got to the point where you could clearly tell that Yard was couldn't really continue anymore. You know, although his corner was kind of slow in actually stopping the damn fight. You know, but
but I don't know. This shit started off like quicker. Like this shit seemed just more violent, more surprising early. But I agree. Better Beef Yard was the better fight. But mostly because it was a little longer.
Right. You know,
mainly because it was longer. Yeah, I mean,
if it continued, it could have been like Neri and Crazy A, which was like, you know, it started off like immediately, and then and didn't stop until the 11th when finally one of them got stopped. You know, that type of fight. It could have probably ended up that way. But Ponce's corner was like, no, we're not gonna. No, he's not gonna take that much punishment. Like, nah, fuck that. You know, but that was definitely a good showing by Showtime. And Showtime, like I said, Showtime always be putting out the best cards. Showtime on regular Showtime, not the cable, not the pay-per-view ones. You know, the pay-per-view cards, like they don't do anything. Although maybe Caleb Plant and David Benavides might actually. Is that Showtime pay-per-view or Fox pay-per-view?
Well, which one?
Showtime.
It's Showtime.
Benavides and Plant.
Fox pay-per-view don't even exist anymore. It feels like.
I guess Wilder got to fight for it to be a Fox pay-per-view or something.
Exactly, you know what I mean. And truthfully, it's good written because they throw anything on Fox and it just and hoping it sticks. Whereas at least Showtime still has some fucking quality, you know. And like I said, and like this past card was quality. I was pleased with the action, you know. Like Matthias does this thing that Matthias is going to be hell at 140. 140 is still. With the exception of 154, you know, still the best fucking division in one of the best, it might be the second best division in boxing. I still hold 154.
You can say first if you want right now, shit.
See, it depends. Maybe I might need to, you know, see what 154 holds like next. See what they can do to match it. I mean, like I said, 154 right now hasn't really fallen off, really like that. So like,
yeah, but it hasn't really had no marquee fights in a while either.
Well, I mean, obviously that's going to change soon with Tony Harrison and Tim Zhu. That's coming up in about 3 weeks or so.
Yeah,
2-3 weeks. Yeah, so that's going to change, you know. But
then remember, 140 just had this one, and then it's going to have T.O. and Taylor. That's
also true.
And you're going to have Comey and Ramirez.
Yeah. Yeah, 140's going to. Yeah, 140.
So you just had Barbosa, Pedraza, nigga, like.
Yeah, 140s are one of the ones where even the B levels can find themselves in some interesting
right fights. Now, you could put 140 and 154 could be like 1A, 1B as far as like the two best divisions if you want. Like
right, exactly. No, and quality division. The 140 and 140 rebuilt itself from nothing. You know, of course, you know, from the dark ages where everyone was like, yeah, when Crawford was the undisputed champion, 140 was in the trash, was in the gutter. And then now, of course, 140 is like flourishing, you know. But yeah, salute to Showtime for that one. That was a good card, and